Good morning. We can't hear you on Zoom. Is the sound on?
Silence is good meditation. Yeah? How about now?
Now, very nice. Thank you.
Okay. Oh, Allah, Dawa, 준비 받아 줘봐 시바 단지지 조 이제 마 냠베 섬진 담지 대화 단된 동아 단자녀 메바 양다바라도 조베 선로 름보제 도바자 라라 다시베 자 노바시베 게 바와 담진 쳔베 바르도 주바 단지지 조제베 마남가 단냠베 섬진 담지 대화 단된 동아 단자 녀도 라나 메바양다 바라조베 상조름 보제 도바자
All mother sentient beings, limitless as space, especially those enemies who hate me, obstructors who harm me, and those who create obstacles on my path to liberation and omniscience. May they experience happiness, be free from suffering, and swiftly may they attain precious, unsurpassed, perfectly complete enlightenment.
Ante chezo samajeje part lunga izonge wala go maji warzo lunga ge wala go de derene song Nyama Santa Zamje Wardo Lunga Yizange Walago.
For that purpose, until I attain Buddhahood, I will apply my body, speech, and mind to virtue. Until death, I will apply my body, speech, and mind to virtue. From today until this time tomorrow, I will apply my body, speech, and mind to virtue.
Zanje Jodan Toje Jodan La Janjoba Dane Jazan Nage Jeso Jebe Sananje Endola Benje Zanje Endoba Sanje Jodan Zaje Jodan La Janjo Bad Dane Jazan Jendage Jezo Jebe Zonan Jendola Benja Sanje
Until awakening, I take refuge in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By the merit of generosity and the other perfections, may I attain Buddhahood for the benefit of all beings.
Tādāṃ dewe jodāṃ dāṃ je dāṃ dāṃ ke jodāṃ je dāṃ me be dewa dāṃ mendrāṃ je ran ja da dan da dong yang la ne ba jo ma nam ga dan yang be sen jian pa dan de wei jo dan ba jo ji dong dan ge jo dan ga jo dong Dawa da nanda jo ren cha da ni da 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 nyong la ne ba jo
May all mother sentient beings, limitless as space, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they not be separated from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion.
chang za wa zang zhe xiao ba dan jie ge zo wa ye ye zang ba dan jie zo be zhang jiu jie mo
Whatever merit I have gathered through prostrations, offering, confession, rejoicing, requesting, and praying, I dedicate it for the complete awakening of all beings.
我不见将见得了那肉汤，我把没来直接看不怕，看我的白家罗的吧。应该去了那了，应该是人着我在上，着那三界的着我跟我安排的把也把的着了。大江天内相救嘛，万军把人间送进向内相救生救中外孝。想救生界现灯谢巴来笑，夜外更多当达拉曼达，达内就巴拉东就会大当三界。不多这样的有
Great Vajradhara, Tilopa, Naropa, Marpa, Milarepa, Dharma Lord Gampopa, Pagmodrupa, and Lord Drikumpa. I pray to all the Kagyu Lamas. From his guru, King Sirlingpa, he received the nectar medicine of bodhicitta and brought benefit to all sentient beings. I pray to glorious Atisha. From now until I attain enlightenment, may I also practice 3 precious lineages, and through this may I perfect sublime bodhicitta and bring benefit to others with my bodhicitta. In all my lives, may I never be separated from the perfect Guru. May I enjoy the glory of the Dharma, perfect the qualities of the bhumis and paths, and quickly attain the state of Vajradhara. The ground is sprinkled with scented water and strewn with flowers. It is adorned with Meru, the 4 continents, the sun, and the moon. I visualize and offer these as Buddha fields. May all sentient beings be born in the Pure Lands. I offer to gurus of the 3 kayas complete outer, inner, secret, and suchness offerings, taking my body, wealth, and all that there may be. I pray, please grant the unsurpassed supreme city. Om Pranamangala Pranam Please turn the wheel of Dharma of the greater, lesser, and common vehicles according to the dispositions and mental capacities of sentient beings.
Ninguém drunjo zorve yang jeng age ban mo dai jong dor jen jong jen de naro da marba me la ju jeng ban bo amar ba jo ban dung ka ju la ma na nga zo de wa me ju jeng je bo ran de zum zang je gun jeng o ran sam chu ku nga zum don je Savilana de la Zoande, da son rovilana chula. Okay, we are in second or third day on Mahamudra teaching. And it is good to have some, if you are seriously good practitioner, want to become a good practitioner, it's good to have find some great teachers. You can find anywhere these days, whether whether in here or out there or between or online, and so you can find suitable for you, yeah. And the Dharma teachings would be mainly the same. So these texts is the most profound text so far in sense of Dharma teachings that we have done. So this is really precious Dharma teaching. And also maybe sometimes we bragging a lot, but sometimes good to bragging that say we are the fortunate ones or we have a great karma together to sort of study, discuss such a text. You know, these texts is these texts is so precious that even Dawa didn't teach until Naropa was ready. So in order to become a suitable vessel, container, it's good to have foundational practice that often we need to practice, usually introduced through preliminary practice and then main practice and then advance Zalong practice. And those you can learn. Probably take a little bit of time because it's not that easy to done in short period of time. So Dharma practice is more lifelong practice rather than doing 1 week or 2 week or a few hours in a daily basis. And good news is the Mahamudra tradition, the practices you can do, Mahamudra practices you can do or can be done anytime while you are sleeping, cooking, walking, driving, and so forth. If you don't lose your alertness or mindfulness, that is count as a Mahamudra practice. And people usually traditionally done through 3 years retreat to train preliminary practice and the main practice of sadhanas, that deity practice, deity yogas, and Zalung and six yogas of narrow path and so forth. So these are important to have a solid foundational practice if you are really serious practitioner. And then on top of that, in order to really meditate Mahamudra meditation, we already went through view, conduct, meditation, and those are mainly very important areas. First, we don't have view, then we are really don't know what we are doing, why we are meditating, or what we are meditating. Meditating must have some focal points that we can use now, but of course, then once you become a great accomplished meditator, then maybe you may not need a focal point. But meanwhile, we have to have a goal, and we should know what we are doing and why we are doing. And these are important. Usually, we spend time and resources to come here. Also, the purpose of I want to do something, so we try to not wasting our time and resource. So that's so important as a view. View, yesterday we discussed a lot. It seems there's no way to talk about Mahamudra unless think about space a little bit. So what is the space itself? And my teacher, Drukurjen Rinpoche, told often say that in order to become a Mahayana practitioner or Dzogchen or Mahamudra practitioner, we need to believe in unbelievable things. If we just believe what normal things, then we are not changing anything. It's just not regular, but that's our habits. Just wake up, go to most are busy with workings and come back, and so every day wake up and routine they call this is, and that's the kind of habit. And space has something that we can think about. Space itself. I don't know. This science may be there's limits of space. Maybe there's edge of space. So universe is expanding, and somehow space there's no space to expanding. If that case, it's not a different question. But if we think about there's an edge of space or anything that we think about space, it's become beyond our conceptual thinking. Conceptually, we cannot just imagine space itself. So that's why space is a good example. And through space, we understand that the things, whatever occur in the space, it doesn't really bother space or attain space or disrupt space. So space has a characteristic of these uncompounded or unabstracted, altered nature of space. So these also represents that when we say space is empty and nothing in there, which also shows the Buddhist main philosophy or the understanding of all phenomena are empty. So sometimes certain point in a daily base, maybe sometimes people think that just everything's empty. It helps us. If we do practice deity yogas, we often use Om Subhava Shuddha Sarvadharma Subhava Shuddha Aham, and that train us to, without using is train us not through analytical way of understanding. It's just suddenly think about there's nothing out there, in here, or between. So that helps of our attitude toward phenomena. And sometimes people are uncomfortable with that, maybe. People, that is kind of nihilistic view. And people always concerned with these, we are falling into the nihilistic view. I'm not worried that much about that part because we are programmed in enjoying the existing things. We cannot really give up these existing things. So if you really can do think or everything's empty, I think that would be beneficial rather than falling into nihilistic view. And maybe people, sometimes I say things that a little bit push beyond our conceptual thinking. Normally people are comfortable with true truths because that can avoid our logical or analytical games that we can play. If it doesn't fit in here, we can fit there. If this doesn't fit in ultimate reality, we can fit in conventional reality. So that's why we have true truths, even called truth. The truth itself is not saying it is truth. It's saying that even conventional truth, we don't see conventional truth as truth. So conventional truth really means is a realized person sees these phenomena as just illusional appearance or delusional appearances. And that's the seeing the true nature of the conventional appearances doesn't exist inherently. That's the truth. When we say truth, conventional truth, it's not what we are seeing. Table is solid, the light is shine through glass windows, and these are not, we don't call how we are approaching or seeing things, we don't call is truth. It's the delusional way of dualistic way of thinking. It's a truth through a truth based on how realized people see phenomena as in a in a dreamlike appearance. That's called truth. And then ultimate truth, of course, we at least until we maybe meditate through whether Madhyamaka or Mahamudra or Greek perfection, we don't have access to ultimate truth. So ultimate truth is, in order to access the ultimate truth, we need to meditate, experience, direct experience. Direct experience is through one's own Rigpa. Yesterday we talked about the mind looks at the mind. When mind sees the mind. So that is the ultimate reality in encounter with ultimate reality. That's called realization. Realization is not subject mind to understand or realize the object dharmata, but rather it's subject-object duality collapse. And at that moment, it's called water pouring into water. It's not separate things. So that is how Mahamudra and Dzogchen practice involve with. The meditation itself, yesterday we know the meditation itself is problematic term, and especially English is meditate on. It's distancing. There is meditator, there is action of meditation, and then object of meditation that's on something. And that makes language itself already sort of emphasize this subject-object duality. It's difficult. That is sort of our how we programmed, and karmically we programmed in that way. We are good at dualistic things. We are not good at non-dual things. Sometimes I often say we are good at doing things. We are very bad at not doing things. So yesterday is introduced that we need to motionless body with a silent voice or without conceptual mind to meditate Mahamudra, if we can. And Melareba, yesterday we talked about, if you are too busy with fixing things, with either problems or anything that you need to fix, that interferes natural settlement or natural settling. And then we cannot rest naturally. And as long as we cannot rest naturally, means then thought is proving, and then clouds obscuration is forming, and then we may not see the actual nature of the space and sun and so forth. So it's very important to let go. Even you do Mahamudra meditation in a moment or day or 2 weeks or a month. So trying to leave behind the memories that in the past and the plans for the futures, and even don't judge or don't analyze the momentary. It's not, it's not a mindfulness. It is resting in the nature, if you can. And so you have 7 categories, and we went through those. Most are through examples. And are you familiar with Gongjik, the single intended or intention of Jikten Zomgongs? Since no one has. Here, of course, sometimes masters, they have little bit preferences, and Jikten Zomgongs, of course, Mahamudra is important part. And here he says, Dzogpa Chenpo Pe Ne Chung Chen Re Chakche Chenpo Pe Yin Chön De Me, Pe Yin Chön Nan De Yi Chön Pa Jo. So he says the Greek perfection analogy is like Garuda, which Garuda means there is, if you don't know Garuda, the bird, it's okay. I don't either. But according to text, there's a bird that grew up in an eggshell. As soon as hatched, and the egg, it can fly. So our Buddha nature is trapped in this our body and mind psychophysical system. It's decaying every day, but still hold on to wobbling, to go to groceries, to buy what we don't need things, and try to survive as long as possible. But human life expectancy is not that long either. So anyway, this body and mind is very good for doing something that not that useful. So the Buddha nature, as soon as our body and mind kind of falling apart, and then this Buddha nature is revealed. And that's why is the Greek perfection is like Garuda. As soon as we die, we are okay. We are good at can fly. But Jikten Zomgong is saying that that is for the great perfection. Some analogy or examples can indicate or pointing out. But he say, Chakche Chenpo Pe Yin Chön De Me. The Mahamudra cannot be represented or indicate or show by any analogies. So here, of course, I'm saying sometimes this little bit, I'm great perfection. I'm Mahamudra Wala. So Wala means I'm the rich of Mahamudra. I'm rich of Dzogpa Chenpo. So here, the Jikten Zomgong's point is that Mahamudra is even higher than Dzogchen practice. And that's the examples are useless, and none of examples can demonstrate or can show or can teach us. But we went through this space and cloud and sun analogy to understand Mahamudra. I'm not saying Jiken Zumbong is telling us not truth, but I'm saying so Mahamudra could be beyond analogies, but we are here just learning Ganges Mahamudra. That gives some analogies. Through analogies, we try to understand the meaning of Mahamudra. Is that contradicted what I'm saying? Or not? And then really we needed to meditate, yeah? If we don't meditate Mahamudra on Mahamudra, then if we don't practice Mahamudra meditation, then that is such a loss. That is the category, sixth category. Do you remember? We have 7 categories, and that's the 6th one. And then the 7th one is what? Which one? Practice. Practice is, of course, the main things. Practice includes what? What we can do. How we can practice. Shamatha. That is under category of meditation. Yeah. Meditation have vipassana, shamatha, samadhi, dhyana. Meditation has a lot of categories. We can do many things. Visualize deities, visualize mantras, and so forth. So mainly the practice itself is whether almost include in view meditation conduct. What we can do is we can think about reality to understand, try to understand correctly. And based on this correct understanding or right view, we can meditate and we can stabilize or establish or accomplish that understanding. And then while we are doing that, our activities or conducts are conducive to that. So that is called conduct. And so here we have really real practice, the 7 category. And 7 category, the practice, we know, we are familiar with Tibetan Buddhist practice, especially tantric practice. How do they practice? Repetition. They categorize something that's called preliminary practice and main practice. So they're involved with a sort of preparations that making there's the levels of if beginners, we need to practice in a certain way to familiarize or make a foundation that suitable for main practice. So that is how Tibetans understood. The preliminary practice, one of my friends researched on preliminary practice, but now I don't remember exactly how the preliminary practices are introduced in Tibet, sort of in a structure that fits to the beginners to practice Buddha Dharma in Tibet. Now I don't remember, but this is maintained in the Tibetan tradition. So preliminary practice. So preliminary practice that this has in the seventh, yeah. Seventh is practice. Practice has we have mainly two categories in this Ganges Mahamudra. And the first is the Mundo, the preliminary practice. And this preliminary practice, and then we have the main practice. So we need to think about this practice involved with the preliminary practice and main practice. Maybe we pause a little bit and think about too much information, yeah? Okay, questions maybe a little bit. Sometimes we good to have some directions too. If people don't understand, then we
the word infer.
I maybe need to on. Okay. Okay.
Would you be able to say that Mahamudra can be infer? Like, how do you say that in English? Infer? My English is not very infer. Like, yeah, infer. Yes, as a method to find it.
Infer.
Infer. Mahamudra is fair. You cannot. That's it. That's the question.
When you understand something.
Oh,
Sort of some you would, if I see smoke, I infer fire.
oh, okay. So here we, of course, yesterday we talked about the wheel. Almost any conceptually understanding is infer. So you're judging through analysis, through logic to understand. Until I sit down and abandoning all the physical activities, rest at ease, be silent and let words be like an echo without a single thought, look at the definitive experience that lies beyond the mind. So if we can do that, and then looking at our mind, that is directly kind of revealing. Until that, whatever we are doing is just infer, thinking, judging, analysis, conceptually.
And can you acquire Mahamudra state by the fourfold Khandakirti, fourfold thought?
Closer, maybe. Put
Can you when you practice fourfold Khandakirti reasoning, can you arrive at Mahamudra?
here, if people are not familiar with Chandakirtis, Chandakirti is a famous master in the Madhyamika tradition. Madhyamika means empty. View on emptiness, which there's logics that can use to think about there's no cause and result. because the cause and results, if there is cause and results, then the cause and results must meet. There's no time to meet because the moment is meant to be the result of past, the current moment. But the past is a past already. There's nothing to come to present. And the present is just disappear when future arrive. So there is no connection between past and present. That kind of logic, to use that logic to all phenomena are empty, is talking about that kind of logic we can use to. That's called logic. Yeah, logic means mainly to infer, to judge, to assume, to assert things, certain things. Assert means you don't know, but but I think that works. That means infer and assert. So Chandakirti has trying to say Nagarjuna say he has no assertion, so that's why he has no problem. But that is another subject we can discuss, a little bit complicated. He doesn't assert anything, then it's a little bit difficult how he can argue that emptiness view is correct. If you don't assert in that level, then it's a little bit difficult. But Chandakirti has an idea of that arguments are just, I don't have any assertion to argue with anyone. I can argue through one's contradictory statements. I don't have opinion to argue, but others, most of us has contradictory assertions, beliefs. That's a kind of eliminates the other assertions that contradictory assertions. Which one? Padang Trova. Yeah, but for example, if we are beginner Buddhists, we say our phenomena are, everything is impermanent. But somehow this river is thin. Our lives on impermanent, but we say, I'm the young boy herding yaks. Now I'm here, the same person. It cannot be a same person because my past is already gone. There's nothing to connect to me. So that is contradictory for Chandakirti. Is if we have that kind of contradictory assertions that we believe that we are correct. So that's why Chandakirti, he doesn't need to believe our lives impermanent or person. But maybe that's too much Madhyamaka lesson today.
Rinpoche,
Yes,
in the main practice, when we meditate on the three seed syllables, Omahum,
yes.
isn't that a way to access Mahamudra?
Maybe here audience sometimes we have new people, maybe a little bit new for them. I think you are talking about the Omahong practice in Dzogchen preliminary practice. Are you talking about that?
Well, like Vajrasattva practice.
Uh, yeah, any mantra recitation is not count as a actual Mahamudra practice or Dzogchen practice.
Uh-huh.
Not count as any conceptual things. We're trying to understand anything involve assertion.
Mm.
We think I'm right, then we are totally wrong. So that kind of is a little bit harsh on us, but Mahamudra is always, yeah. So that's kind of warning, or that's help us to. We don't have to be a winner or always correct, yeah. So Nagarjuna himself say he has no assertion. He doesn't have assertion of I'm right or I'm wrong. As soon as we say I'm right, then there's opposite wrong people out there, maybe, yeah. And that is another thing that we can work on. But so maybe we can talk about then preliminary practice if online. Do you have more questions so we can?
Could I ask a question?
Yes.
Please, thank you, Kembala. In 23, verse 23, it says, when you recognize appearances as self-projections, the phenomena produced by the conceptual mind will cease to be.
Mm-hmm.
But isn't appearances as self-projection still a sort of subtle form of conceptuality? Maybe for bodhisattva, on a bodhisattva level, it is, but it's not the same as the way that the Buddha sees, is it? So isn't there a subtle concept still going on if you're seeing projections as self-projections? I don't know whether that makes sense.
Yeah, that will count. That is the main practice, at least in these texts. I think that we can talk about. I think not disappearing is one thing, liberating is other thing. Disappearing probably is difficult to disappear these appearances. But liberation took place once we recognize or settled in a nature. That is, then we sometimes misunderstand what does liberation mean. Liberation means transform into all these phenomena into deity form or lights or rainbows or wisdoms or something. It seems not saying that. If you disengage anything, it's nothing is there in originally, so it's just liberate its own place. It's often used as own place. We can discuss that later. And now I
Thank you.
don't know any more people wants to offer some suggestions that or Nagarjuna's or Chandakirti's, maybe not. And we're going to this I'm the flawless one kind of thing. And that makes Nagarjuna and Chandakirti get nervous. Uh, so, so there's logics that we can use, and the logics that people don't like logics, especially Chandakirti. Logic is meaningless, so that's why he doesn't want to use logic. Logic means I believe in something, that I think I'm right, and that's why I want to pursue other to use my belief to say, see, I'm right, so you should follow me. And so that's the kind of logic, and the Chandakirti Nagarjuna already introduced, and the Chandakirti emphasize on that, and that's why there's strong core logic that called syllogism. Yeah, syllogism means there is some logical framework that you can use, and similar to the Western logic. So there's premise, reasons, and then you can use that to convince others. Usually the very simple one is on the top of the mountain. If you don't see fires burning there, but you see from distance, you see smoke, you can infer that there must have fire. That's kind of logic. And yeah, well, we can talk about that when hopefully we have more time on Chandakirti and Nagarjuna. It helps, the Madhyamika view helps the Mahamudra and Great Perfections view. Without we have that emptiness nature of phenomena and understanding of that, it's very difficult to meditate what we are meditating on. So knowing that phenomena is empty is very wonderful thing. It's called Buddhist teaching we call Mother Sutras, the sutras that almost 20 volumes that all talk about empty. Have everyone maybe read the Heart Sutra, yeah? What it says, form is empty. Form is anything that's solid or see things is empty. So without knowing that, then very difficult to meditate on Mahamudra or the Great Perfection. But before that, we need to do preliminary practice. Whether Mahamudra or Great Perfection or even any advanced tantric practice, we have to have a preliminary practice. So here seems a preliminary practice that has another 7 subcategories. This all becomes 7, 7. I'm not sure that's purposely or just really is that there is 7 or not. But the 7 is good number. 6 plus 1. No?
3 plus 4.
I know, yeah. Even 8 minus 1. So 7 is good. There is 7 days a week, 7 planets, and Yeah, 7 is good one. And 7 years old can talk and think very well. I mean, I don't know. Yes. So those are 7s are very important. And we have 7, verse 7 that already went through up to 6. Now it's 7th. 7 has 2 main subcategories, preliminary practice and main practice in the Mahamudra tradition here. And the first one is usually in the Tibet we call Lama Temba. Lama Temba means English, of course, they translate based on the dictionaries that call relying on lamas. But Tibetan then is a little bit different than relying on. Then is more approach to lama rather than rely on. Be close to lama. And these you can see now we need to look a little bit carefully because the English number is the verse we need to divide. And verse 15 in these texts has, if you look at the last 2 lines, if you want to release from these sorrows, rely on a wise guru. So that is approaching Lama, or you are be close to Lama to get teachings. And then for when he or his blessing infuse you, your mind will be free. Thank you. And here, of course, guru business is very delicate one, and these days, that's up to you. I need to talk what the text says, and if you are upset or angry or discomfort or something that doesn't make sense, that we can discuss, but I may not have a very skill to solve guru business. But here, the guru, we talk about the Mahamudra, and in the very beginning, the verse, it says that Naropa is the endure hardships with the devotion to the guru. So Naropa, when he described, Tilopa described his student Naropa. He's devoted to Guru, Tilopa himself. Yeah. So that is how Gajupas treat. And Milarepas, every single song start with Marba, the gracious Marba. And that's a devotion. And somehow devotion has this positive energy or emotion that opens our mind. And respecting your guru as at least trust and also thinking that guru's grace and also that's probably knows more than oneself. And that's why its guru is important, and it's especially Tibetan tradition. And Tibetan tradition even treat the guru as more important than Buddha. And in the West, I don't hear much. Sounds the culture and changes. But Tibetan, we have these taking refuge or refuge prayer. We have this Lama la japs, Sangye la japs, Chu la japs, Gendu la japs. So Lama la japs first. If you don't know what does that mean, maybe you heard everywhere in the Buddhist societies that communities that Buddham Sarnam Gacchame, Sangam Sanam Gacchame, and Dharma Sanam Gacchame. So I'm going to take refuge in the Buddha, in the Dharma, in the Sangha. So these three are you here, but Tibetans start with I take refuge in Lama first. Lama means guru. But somehow in the West, it's already disappeared. So yeah, they already somehow there's no, I haven't heard of in West. And especially in five paths Mahamudra, the Song Jigten Sumgons, is he didn't say if you don't have devotion in a Buddha, the blessing will not come. He said if you don't have devotion in your guru, then blessing would not come. So there is a difference. I'm not saying Buddha is not that important or gracious, but we don't have access to Buddha. According to history, he died 2,500 years ago. And what we have is our teachers. And that Dharma bring down by lineage masters, teachers. Sometimes even cannot say master these days, yeah. Just teachers, yeah, teachers, those teachers, learned ones, yeah, wise ones. But that is so that's why Tibetans think it's very important. And they give example that no matter what, the sun's hot, but if you want to burn something, you need to magnify glass to burn. So the magnifier by glass is the Lama, your teacher. That's for it. And then comes to Tantra, is empowerment is very important. It's also giving, allowing and giving power and planting seed and so forth. That is why Guru is important in Tibetan tradition. And the main practice, preliminary practice, we have Guru Yogas. And then main practice, we have sadhana, whether we use as a Guru, as a Guru Rinpoche in the Nyingma tradition, Gajupa Milarepa, or Jigten Sumgon in Drigung tradition, or Gelugpa, Jetsongkaba, and so forth. So this Guru Yoga or the Guru Sadhana, that is pervasive. And then why we call three roots, why it's become root, these three. Do you remember when we offer mandala, Guru Deva Dakini? What does that mean? Guru Deva Dakini. Offering to the Guru, Lama, Deva, the Yidam, Dakini, the Dakini practice. So these three, mainly The deities are, we treat either guru or the yidam or the dakinis. So any yidam we can guru, Guru Rinpoche or Guru Bame or Tara or Milarepa. And yidam, so you can see Raw deities, you can see there, here. And dakinis, we have Vajra Yogini practice all the time here. So these three are called roots, three roots. The roots of blessing is Guru. The blessings are only coming from the Guru. If not just distancingly treating Buddha as omniscient, but need to treat as a Guru, the close your own teacher. That is important.
Lama, I have a question.
Yes.
So, what is the difference between Dakini and Yidam? Maybe this is very basic because I'm new, but I thought that when you do Vajrayogini practice, your Yidam becomes your Dakini. The Vajrayogini is the Dakini.
Yes, we can treat the yidam as a male or female deities, but I think dakini usually we don't practice dakini's practice, Vajrakalaya practice as dakini practice. So dakini somehow need a female form deity to practice. Yidam is just means people often use tutelary deity. That's I have a discussion with this how we call in English because in Tibetan it's easy Yidam. We say Sanskrit is Dawa. Dawa means just God. Yeah. So God becomes in Tibetan Yidam. Yidam is English often heard tutelary deity, but that is maybe not a good term to use. Tutelary seems to be protector, protect. Is I am correct? What does tutelary mean? Viking?
Tutor is mean the teaching, learning from.
No, I think tutelary is protector, protect. Well, that's what I learned. You can check dictionaries to feed me, because I'm kind of or happy to be wrong. That's what I learned, but we can check. And then what does really yidam mean? It means there's sort of intimacy that you choose yidam, the deity that you really like it. You think you have a strong connection with that. That is yidam. And come up with another scholar that we're trying to use personal deity. If that's totally personal thing, it's if you can choose, if you like Vajrayogini or Vajravarahi or Tara, want to choose, or Vajrasattva. So that is your own preferences. Whatever you are comfortable with, whatever you want to connection with this deity, and you think this deity will help me this life and the next and much further. And the dakinis, we have a female deity we need to choose. Usually comes with lawful female deities. We Vajrayogini or Vajravarahi, so those are most any tradition would have. And particularly Nyingma tradition, we have this Yishin Soja rise as Vajravarahi, that's treated as he as Vajravarahi. So those are important as three roots. Yeah, why is three roots? Three roots is the root of blessing is Guru, root of blessing, root of Siddhi is the Yidam, the personal deity, and the root of removing obstacle is Dakini. So these three are important. If you don't have any personal deity, maybe choose one. Sometimes personal deities are show up in the dreams, sometimes your personal preferences, and so should have some strong should you feel strong connection, and that's called yidam. So lama is very important part. When we do main practice in a sadhana, in a 3-year retreat, we do after preliminary practice, then we do, after Guru Yoga, we do the Guru Sadhana. Every tradition have Guru Sadhana. So Guru Sadhana. Siddhi. I use goodies, but that's people think is that ridiculous. And people correcting me, you should say accomplishment. Yeah. Activity, but most of the time use removing obstacles. Removing obstacles, Dakinis. No. Cities. Blessing. Yeah. And these three are also related. If you don't have blessing, you would not get cities. And in order to get cities, or if you get cities, you can remove obstacles. Or if you don't remove obstacles, you would not get cities. So in order to get cities, you would have a lot of obstacles. So don't think Dharma practice will solve problem. Yeah, maybe more problems arise. Mainly, first is headache, then probably stomach, and then knees and joints, and then every part of cells could be agitated and doesn't make sense anymore. That's how Dharma agitates most people. Yeah. So good thing is that we have three roots. So those are important. How to practice in the Tibetan Buddhism, knowing the preliminary practice, and top of that, these three deity practice, and then we have this relaxation of Mahamudra or Dzogchen practice that you can rely on. If you don't have any of those, then it's something else is going on. So then I don't know which category we can put that part. And these two lines are mainly first rely on Lama or the approach to Lama or the learn and get blessings and everything from Lama, maybe more like trust in Lama. And then we have also shows this is a renunciation, these two lines, the devotion in a guru and revulsion or the renunciation of the samsara. So these two are first two lines. That is necessary. Yeah. Sometimes people put these four mind changings or four thoughts that change mind or turn your thoughts into Dharma. And then many teachers add a devotion. So these are the five right before really beginning. We have to have these practices or whether we call practice or whether we call kind of that kind of attitude, that kind of cultivation we can build. Everything's okay? Okay, I didn't finish. I just jumped into too fast. I think the first two line, not first two line, the verse 15 from if you want release from these sorrows, rely on a wise guru. For when its blessing infuse you, your mind will be free. So that is the why we need to rely on or the approach to or to get teachings, trust in the guru. And then the renunciation or revulsion of samsara is 解脱, because engagement in the worldly affairs is the meaningless cause of suffering and is without essence, looking at the essence of the ultimate truth. So this is more the renunciation, why we need to renounce samsaric things. So this is in general teaching. You can see Mahamudra is not just going directly to the empty vacuum, but first we need to preparation and we need to build up our positive thoughts and stir our little bit intimacy or the positive emotion to make connections. We are not alone. We don't want to die alone either, yeah. And so that's important. And then maybe this is relevant. Milarepa says that Lama tang rang sem sang ji som jik tu tok pe nan jo la. He says that I'm the Milarepa, the yogi, who understand or who accept or who realize the Buddha, the Lama, and my mind. These three are inseparable. So people, of course, when judgment comes, people treat some individuals out there, but then it's nothing related to one's inner mind or Buddha. Then we cannot have this inseparability of the Buddha, Guru, and our own mind nature. So that's why our judgment comes, and then we cannot treat that. But Milarepa himself was saying that I'm great yogi because I can treat my mind and Guru and Buddha. These are the same. And of course, then, and generally, we have outer gurus, inner gurus, often used. If you haven't heard of this is really important part. We are not in ultimate reality yet. We are clever enough to wake up and eat 3 times a day, go back to sleep, wake up again, and we call grown-ups, yeah. So well, that comes from our training from our parents, probably. Uh, but we need to understand that there is something we can practice and we can treat others, we can rely on someone else. And then relying on the guru, the outer guru, which sometimes we call the conventional guru, because conventional means we can interact with, talk to, and get teachings, empowerments, and so forth. Due to that condition or that blessing, then we can open up, reveal our inner guru, which is our own mind nature. So these two are related. If we don't have open devotion to external guru, if we don't trust anyone, then we are isolated. We are not open, and we cannot open ourselves either. So it's good to have connection to others. If we can connect the whole universe, that would be good. But even at least we have really want to be choose best guru, at least choose one. If we don't have any, then we are just individuals that don't trust anything and don't have guru and don't have connection, outer guru connection. Then maybe inner guru is a little bit difficult to rise. So Milarepa treats outer, inner, and Buddha. These three gurus are inseparable. So in order to become great Mahamudra meditator, we need to treat these three gurus are equal. And then we can say, look at the essence of ultimate truth. In the future, if you don't have time, chanting all preliminary practice and some sadhanas, and then meditation session comes, usually we do that, but if you don't have time, at least chant some devotional songs or devotional chantings. That is important. If first open up your heart, then meditate, rather than I want to do meditation. Don't bother me, and then that's kind of closing the connection. Yeah. So there's a way of meditating. Anything? That session we have now. We have guru. We have renunciation, the preliminary practice, and that's the first category in the preliminary practice in these texts.
Kempola, can I ask you a question?
Yes, please.
I'm wondering about something from, it connects today and yesterday. Yesterday we talked about there's no activity in the ground.
Yes.
But then there's this idea that takinis perform activity, and even when we get empowerment, the empowerment goddesses bestow the empowerment. Or maybe that's not a correct understanding. Please comment on all of that. I'm kind of wondering about the role of Dakini and their activities, and on an inner level, the relationship to the winds in our body, and also this idea that there's no activity.
Yeah, that's really good. And it later comes, since, of course, all these activities we are trying to doing, and including devotion and revulsion, start from there to all the way to activities, sometimes the Zalong practice, and those are include usually this, even the six narrow yogas of Naropa are all called tablams, the method path. It's not the actual goal, maybe actual goal of practice. This is all for the Mahamudra, and that's why Mahamudra is called the Cholam, the liberation path. Only Mahamudra can liberate us. However, when we practice Dakini or Zalong, we can mix with Mahamudra for sure. Even the very beginning preliminary practice here, the devotion with the Guru to devotional chanting could reveal our mind nature. So advanced practitioners, I think any practice that can intermingle with Mahamudra and the Dzogchen practice. I think, for example, Garche Rinpoche, almost 24 hours, he's doing money well, but I don't think he loses his mind nature, yeah. So if you play this money well, don't wobble in it. Just settle, yeah. Don't move like this. It's moved by itself. Yeah. So there is always have mindfulness you can use, and so I think that's why any practice does not interfere in Mahamudra, but the actual session you really want to settle, then yesterday we talked about Milarepa himself says Chakcha Chenpo Gumdus. When meditating Mahamudra, one should not accumulate merits by body and speech. If you do that, the non-conceptual awareness will yar in the Tibetan, jam, but it's here means disappear, which means you cannot maintain non-conceptual wisdom with body and speech activity. You cannot do that while talking or while walking while walking. So walking meditation is not good for actual Mahamudra or Dzogchen meditation. And Dakini's practice is often we can treat as Yidam practice here, that tutelary or the personal deity. But separately, its function has some power of removing obstacles that how people treat in that way. Could be most in the Buddhist tradition, this male practitioners and Dakini practices two separately. But if we are female practitioners, then also maybe could treat differently. But that's we can talk another time maybe. And here we have a little bit about these Zalung practice and so forth are not for the best kin faculties, but it's lesser or the medium faculties. We need this kind of methods practice to reveal Mahamudra rather than strictly looking at practice Mahamudra. Does that helps? Or you have more to clarify?
The other part really about how there's no real activity, nothing really happens, but how do we understand the role of Dakini with that with that view?
Yes, that's from Guru's blessing activity to the Dakini's helping activities or the removing obstacles. I think that's maybe related to removing obstacles to means then your activities flourish without the obstacle. These all treat in now I don't want to say this, but in a conventional sense, it's not actual. As compared to Mahamudra, these are inferior to the Mahamudra. So Mahamudra is the best, superior to everything. If you cannot do that, there is a lot of things we can do. Our goal is achieving realization of Mahamudra. But we cannot do immediately. We can do all kind of practices. And that's different activities, different deities. And Dakini's activity is not different from any other activities that we practice. And it helps to our spiritual, that's just a Western way of saying, our spiritual spirituality, to how to grow our Dharma practice. Yesterday, I mentioned that Sims, not only Sims, I think, same, yeah, I think or Sims is same. I assert that that positive emotions seems better than better than negative emotions. So same thing here. Any practice is infused with positive emotions, energies, and aspects and assertions. And that helps us grow our spiritual life. And however, if we are meditating Mahamudra and an actual Mahamudra, if we practice Dagini's practice, then Milarepa is saying that is not good for Mahamudra. The actual, you're sitting, you cannot visualize Vajrayogini. If you do that, then it's conceptually you are constructing deity form. That cannot meditate, recognize your nature of your mind. Is that okay? The further clarification? Okay, okay.
So you do it Sallu, you cannot do Mahamudra.
No,
Like doing movement of the energy in the body, you're not getting close to Mahamudra.
no. When you meditate, don't jump up and down. Don't jump up and down.
I'll jump
Yeah,
like that.
exactly.
So all these movements, when you're doing Qigong practice, moving the energies in the central channels, and you get blissed out, that is not really getting you closer to Mahamudra.
No,
So what would be the point of having the blissful states of the Qigong practice?
it's same thing. It's bliss. It means it's just experience. Yeah. We could have meditators could have 3 nyams, they call it, experience. Denyam, the bliss, the whole body, the whole universe can melt down. And Sanyam, luminous or light or clear, clarity in your meditation can light up the whole universe sometimes. And then Dongyam, the empty experience, which means feel that nothing there. Not out there, not in here. It's just totally empty feeling. And there is a nyam that called mitok, that means non-conceptual experience. You think there's no concepts going on, but still is concept. So that's why these nyams are many times I already repeat, maybe some of you may think this is too much, but if you never heard of, in a Tibetan tradition, we have 3 levels. Kowa, the understanding. What does understanding mean? Understanding. Could be wrong, yeah. Understanding mainly means assertion. You think you know something. And that is really basic level. And that's fall apart. Very. In English, we have a very good way of saying, I thought I understand. Means you are totally wrong. Yeah. So understanding has no value almost. Fall apart. It's like say Tibetans are quite rich in deep down their thinking, but they wear clothes that has a lot of patches. When clothes break, then they put some patches. Yeah. Have you ever heard of or saw, or have you ever wear that clothes has patch? When I grew up, we broke here, they put something that can fall apart, yeah. They say the understanding is like a patch, fall apart. Understand? And you can say, I thought I understand. Oh, then Nyam experience is like cloud or mist. It will disappear. You cannot repeat experience. It can disappear. So that's a Nyam experience. And most of the time in West, we are describing experience. We think that's a good thing. I'm a good meditator. I have a good experience and so forth. Experience is another baseless phenomena that arise and we cannot rely on. It will disappear, never come back. And then what we can rely on is realization. Once we realize something, truly realize, that's never change. It's like space. So that's why we are focusing on trying to realize something. Realize only comes directly contact or reveal. So not thinking, not in fears, not assertion, not just belief. It's need to see directly. That's called realization. Okay. Anyone want to? Yes. Maybe they can. They need to. It also has some.
Thank you, Kempala. So is the distinction between check
Mhm.
is okay. Okay. Is the distinction between a nyam or is the distinction between a nyam or experience and realization something that one can make in the moment of realization itself? Would
Yeah.
would that distinction become clear if one is in realization, or is it something that over time one realizes, oh, that was just a nyam because it's changeable?
Yeah, that's really a good question. And also, because when we say the actual meditation of Mahamudra or the great perfection, they should not have any experience. People got freaked out because what do you really mean? I need some experience. Yeah, you are right that between experiences, you could have a realization. For example, the moment you sit down and look at your mind, that is realization. So that doesn't last very long. As soon as the rise or the pause that meditation, then we can talk about nyams. What kind of clarity or bliss or empty feelings or empty experience or non-thoughts. So that we can talk about. So are you talking about that between experiences we can get realizations? And sometimes we could mix up because of this realization is so short that we thought realization is this post realization meditation that brings the clarity and non-thoughts and so forth. So it's sometimes difficult to separate these two because it's a very short moment happening too fast. And then the realization itself we cannot describe, but then the post-realization we can describe. What this is such clarity or such bliss or such non-thought, empty experience. So these are, yeah, it's sort of alternating, yeah, these two, and sometimes too fast to distinguish what happened before or after. Is that what you are talking or something else?
So then is one likely to just be in a state for a while of making that mistake of confusing the two, and then over time, the nam experiences fall away or become clarified just through continuing with the practice?
Exactly. So, however, these realization, the beginners may be very short, but we can extend through repetition. So then we slowly distinguish what is realization and what is jnana. Maybe beginners, it's very difficult to separate these two. And often meditators fall into these experiences rather than the realization. Once we getting these realizations, getting the duration of the realizations getting longer and longer, and then we can see what's the difference between experience and realization. And then, of course, realization is we cannot repeat. No, the experience we cannot repeat, but realization is coming every time. Should be the same. Yeah, so it's a little bit different.
So could realization in the Dzogchen terminology then be considered Rigpa?
Yes, yes.
And falling out of Rigpa is post-meditation.
And that's Nyam. That would have experience.
Many of these practices, I would imagine both Vajrayana and Dzogchen practices, maybe not much about, but are to help to create the conditions for these experiences to arise, to then also settle into enlightenment or Rigpa.
Yes, because for example, we are sitting here, and of course, we have good ideas that all good people are here, and real individuals that flesh and blood won't in sitting here, actual person in this shrine room. Maybe the meditation, we meditate a minute, and due to that influence, it's everything like a dream. There's nobody really there. It's we just an image. So that's sort of build up helps that we are attached to everything. Yeah. So Buddhist teaching or practice is losing this tightness of grasping, attachment. And usually only that, then we can concretize things. Yeah? So if we lose that tightness, our life would be better. Maybe And sometimes it's more difficult, maybe in a modern life, you have to get. So if we think our life is meaningless, then it's another dangerous things happened. But it's at least if we see the current situation or the right moment where we are sitting, it's just like a dream. It helps to release all the intentionalities.
I was friends with a longtime Zen practitioner. He said, enlightenment is an accident, and practice is making oneself accident prone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Don't get car accident.
So what happened then with the Mahashuka of the tantric practices? Doesn't make no difference to achieve that?
I don't quite understand.
Mahashuka, the great bliss.
Mahasiddhas.
Yeah, that you do what you do in tantric practice. You attain blisses.
Tilopa and Naropa, they are Mahasiddhas.
Mahashuka.
Oh, Mahasukha.
Yeah.
Mahasukha.
So, during the practice, then that's not going to have nothing to do with Mahamudra?
Yeah, the Mahasukha is the term we use. We don't have other term. It should not be sukha. It should not be bliss, yeah? Bliss, when how we thinking a bliss is probably something that we experience. This bliss we know it's not reliable bliss. And Mahasukha means the great bliss. That should not we experience. If experience means it's not Mahasukha. So Mahasukha is beyond Sukha. Sometimes use Mahasukha. That's so anything that conceptually or we can experience dualistically, that is not reality.
Isn't that inside the absorption? To completely lose yourself, and then don't have connection with anything of reality in the basic absorption, beginning of basic Buddhism?
I'm not really sure. It's beyond. It's trying to. Here we are comparing with realization and experience. What's difference these two? If we think we can experience Mahasukha, that is not Mahasukha. It's some sukha that sukha means bliss. Sukha that we are experiencing. So meditation brings sukha, bliss, great big sukha. Maybe we can discuss that after lunch. Think about that. Great sukha is yeah, atachi sukha, so yeah. A trouble sukha. Or in English.
Page 13, 1-3. glorious, holy, venerable, precious, kind, root, and lineage lamas, divine assembly of yidams and assemblies of Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, Heros, and Heras, Yogini and assembly of Dakinis dwelling in the 10 directions, please heed me. By the power of this vast root of virtue, may I benefit all sentient beings through my body, speech, and mind. May the afflictions of desire, hatred, ignorance, pride, and jealousy not arise within my mind. May thoughts of fame, reputation, wealth, honor, and concern for this life not arise for even a moment. May my mind stream be moistened by loving kindness, compassion, and bodhicitta, and through that may I become a spiritual master with good qualities equal to the infinity of space. May I gain the supreme attainment of Mahamudra in this very life. Even at death, may the torment of suffering not arise. May I not die with negative thoughts. May I not die confused by wrong view. May I not experience an untimely death. May I die joyfully and happily in the great luminosity of the mind as such, and in the pervasive clarity of Dharmata. May I, in any case, gain the supreme attainment of Mahamudra at the time of death or in the bardo.
Okay, we will resume 2 o'clock. Saga time.